Hello and welcome back to the SuperCoach Experience podcast. I'm your host, Brandon Savage, the coach of the Savage Turbos. I'm joined here by 3/4 of the panel to what we usually have. The champ has returned. How are you, Tim?
Yeah, good. I've got a really short cord thing, so I'm really feel really awkward. Like, Savs has taken the heaps nice headset. It's so nice, got a long cord. The earphones in it are real nice. Mine look like he's had a dog eating it or something.
Mate,
like they're really messed up.
At least you've got some.
Yeah, at least you've got some. We've just been debating whether Savs should walk literally 2 minutes to his house because he lives at Panthers, and he wouldn't do it. So this is what he won't do for
the lads.
Yeah.
I mean, we're also joined here by Ryan Hadley, Manly contracted to New South Wales, avid supercoacher. How are you?
Good, mate. Good. I've turned from a special guest in a 3/4 of the panel in 2 weeks. So obviously I did an all right job last week. So I'm just happy to be back, to be honest.
I think you did a good job, and you're available, which is something Mikey is not. So shout out to you, Mikey. How are you going? So how did you go on SuperCoach on the weekend? And you don't play SuperCoach for BBL,
no.
So and we've got no SuperCoach to talk about, really. We've got.
What do you mean we've got no super? We're about to do a podcast about SuperCoach, and you said we've got no SuperCoach.
How'd you go, mate? Were you asking me just so I'd ask you back because you had a really good week? Or
No,
what?
I'm doing pretty badly. Jake is the one. He's still coming 31st, which is pretty good. There's no good place to add this microphone. It'd probably look a bit weird, but yeah, there's no. I'm doing pretty badly.
Yeah, you look weird with your microphone. Like, I mean, I don't really like how I've got to sit and lean into it like this. I think you're better off without the headphones. I think you're.
I'm pretty comfortable, to be honest.
Yeah, you look chill, man. I'm like a bit like.
So we've got the cricket going here. Starts in 15 minutes. So I mean, if you see our eyes wander, that's why.
I can give you some running commentary while we're at it.
We saw your mate Jay Lenton in the Sixers squad. Is that why? Is he not playing with Manly at the moment?
Yeah, that's why he's out at the moment. He's been swindled from the Thunder, so he was helping coach the Thunder, and then all of this COVID protocols and stuff came in, and teams are scrapping for players, and now he's travelling with them for the last bit of the season and into the finals, I think. So
he's, what, 30 now?
32, I reckon.
32. So
what, in age, or is that what you're saying?
So
okay.
In professional sport, that's just how quickly things change. He's gone from someone who potentially could have been in the player pool to coaching.
And then back to playing.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's crazy. He got a good chance. One of the Thunder assistant coaches, Sean Bradstreet, broke his ankle at one of the training sessions, and they just needed another bloke to throw balls, and he unfortunately got cut a couple of years ago from the Thunder. So then they got him back to coach, and now he's in the Sixers squad as a player, I think.
So he's just a professional kind of ball slinger.
Pretty much. Yeah. He was the chat was that he was Sam Billings' favourite ball slinger while Sam Billings was over here. So he said he was practicing the noises like a bowling machine makes. It just goes for 6 hours a day.
Tim probably has no idea what we're talking about, but I guess we'll get into some SuperCoach.
Okay.
We'll get to SuperCoach in a minute. And we saw you bowled a really good seed on the weekend too.
I did. Thanks for sharing that. Made me good. I think it might have got me a couple of followers, so that was always handy. But it was. We had a good win on the weekend. Bowled Fairfoot out for 80. So
what's this?
It's an announcement.
Yes, a COVID announcement. All good. All right, so
I got really nervous. Hey, I thought we were going to have to evacuate.
You feel nervous here? Is that what you're saying?
No, I thought we were going to have to evacuate or something.
Oh, right.
All right, so today we're talking about second rowers. Last week, hookers and front rowers. I mean, let's address what's happened in the last week in the hookers area. Jaden Brayley's gone down for the season potentially. What is everyone's thoughts on this, and have they changed their approach this season so far? We'll go with you, Tim.
Well, there's a young fella that's now a cheapie. What's his name?
Chris Randall at 245,000, I think.
Yeah, he could be. If he's going to start, then I think he's your perfect second hooker.
Yep.
Definite. Like, I think you just lock that in if he's going to start for sure. And does he have any other competition to that spot? Do you know?
So there is Kurt Mann.
He's not going to get
potentially.
That spot.
Nah.
Not at hooker. Nah.
I think there's a chance he might, but I don't think so. But
I
reckon they might spell Randall with maybe Man or something for a bit.
I heard via the SC Whisperer. not a very reliable source, but
Oh, the Whisperer.
the Whisperer said he saw it in the Herald. I haven't seen this article myself, but he said that Kurt Mann is playing 13 this year, and Chris Randall is confirmed to 9.
Chris Mann's playing. Kurt Mann's playing 13.
Kurt Mann, yeah.
He played last year. He played centre most of last year, didn't he?
Yeah.
Wow.
There was a bit of chat they were going to go to the market for a hooker, but apparently that got squashed today. So
Is he going to be a ball-playing sort of...
I suppose just slide into Connor Watson's role, I guess.
Is that what he's going to do, is he?
I guess, yeah.
I guess so.
I can't see it, but I can't see it working great, but I can see him... Yeah, I don't know. I don't like it.
Overall, I think it's pretty handy, to be honest.
Pretty handy.
I feel really sorry for Brayley, but
yeah.
Thanks, mate.
I feel sorry for Knights fans as well.
I don't. you are a Knights fan.
No. That's what I was waiting for you to say. That's what I was waiting for you to say. I feel really sorry for Knights fans. But that being said, that pretty much locks them into the bottom 4, you would say.
Which is good for...
bottom 8, which is good for our
multi.
top sport bet, which is Penrith top 6, Sharks top 6, and Manly top 6. And Newcastle to finish in the bottom 8. $8.50 via Top Sport. Use the code SE Experience when signing up.
Will say very nervous about the Cronulla one, but I think that's a fun thing to ride for the whole year.
I'm honestly quite
That's your second team for the year now. If you're on that bet, your second team for the year is Cronulla.
I'm quite nervous about Manly too, because if Tom goes down, that's not a lock-in.
Well, they top 4, did you say?
Top 6.
Top 6.
No, it is, man. It is. They're a good side without him, bro.
He's only going to play 10 games and he'll be right.
I know they started poorly without him last year, and everyone says they're nothing without him, but they've still got like Cherry Evans is still a good leader. He's still good at getting them around the park. The thing is, though, I guess they lack that pizzazz big time, though. But depending how long he'd go out for.
Very good. Let's talk about some second rowers now.
Yeah, well, all right. What do you got for us, Savs? You got a little... You know, put...
It was a good. I don't have headphones, so I don't know if that was a good, I don't know if that was a good intro, outro. What was going on?
It went brilliant.
It was like a little sparkle. So, second rowers, it's a bit rogue. It feels a bit rogue this episode, doesn't it? Feels a bit
I can't
weird.
find my SuperCoach app.
That's a good start.
Yeah,
That's a good start. All right, so second rowers, I'm finding a lot this year. A lot of the draft sides I'm starting with, I'm not spending as much as I have in the past. And I don't know if that's going to be a theme going into the year. It just could be my early thoughts. But we're going to go to Ryan Hadley's list. He's got a digital list here. And he's actually done quite a bit considering I only messaged him today.
Are we talking about draft?
No, he's drafting a side.
Like drafts.
Okay, yeah, good.
I do agree in the sense of it looking a little bit cheaper. I'm thinking I think there will be heaps of options by the end of, or by, once we have a look at the teams, and there's enough guns there, but we just obviously don't know who they are. I've stayed away from the guns on my list for now.
Yep.
We obviously know who they are and what they're going to produce, and we can talk about them. I don't know if you want to talk about them. There's a couple that I do want to chat about, and I hope you agree with me.
I really like your enthusiasm. I'm really glad to have you on the show, man. I really love what you're prepared. You've got a lot of enthusiasm.
Got notes. I'm sort of. I just don't want to let the boys down.
Nah, man.
My first one.
Goals right
my
now.
first one, who I actually wanted. When we thought Kikau might have been leaving or Kikau might have been gone from Penrith, I think this guy was unsigned at the time, but I think that the Cowboys have ended up re-signing him. It's Hylam Lukey. He's a
bald-headed, tall fella, right?
340, big unit, tall, athletic.
He did look good when he got a few goes, didn't he? Yeah.
In the same sort of mould as Kikau, which is why I kind of wanted Penrith to sign him. But his price got inflated a little bit by a couple of individual, brilliant tries at the back end of the year. I'm not sure what the Cowboys' second row situation is doing. I think might be one of the questions in your little thing that I saw on Instagram.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that.
There was someone asking on the Instagram saying what our opinions are on the Cowboys' second row and who they're going to go with. I'm hoping they go with Hylam Lukey. I think he's probably a little bit pricey.
How much is he at? I'm trying to find
340 maybe?
Yeah, it's an awkward price.
I mean, you want him probably 40k less.
I think. But don't quote me, but I'm pretty sure I managed to find my SuperCoach app, so I can actually have a look.
But if he
gets 60, like a 60-minute second,
that's what I'm saying. If he's starting, gets 60
I
minutes.
do like it at that price.
So I'm going to read out his games with more minutes than 50 because he doesn't have many here. So he's got a 48-minute at 42 points. He's also got a 64 minutes at 40 points, a 69 minutes at 52, and a 54 minutes at 59. And his lower minute games look like the ones he's come on and really made an impact and
on the eye test,
tries.
though, he's shown. I think he's passed a lot of eye tests, and I think he could definitely have a big year this year if he's given a role, like a starting role. That could be huge.
Yeah. Who else do they have to start there then?
Honestly, whoever was there last year.
Yeah, Cohen Hess.
Cohen Hess is in the middle now, isn't he?
Yeah. Ruben Connor will probably play 13, you were saying. So
Taumalolo played a little bit on the edge last year.
For like a couple of games.
I don't think he'll play on the edge this year.
Well, Josh Maguire was coming off the bench.
He'll play in the front, and Jordan McLean's kind of not
That's
really
what I'm saying. I think there's a bit of a gap there that if they're fair income about
I think he might get a spot. We'll have to watch that.
Start.
Watch that on TLT.
Shane
for sure.
Wright on one side.
Yeah, that's there's just a few like rogue units that.
That Shane Wright guy's okay, but not. Lukey's got like potential.
Got it. He's got it.
Yeah. All right, I like that. I like that.
It's a nice one to start off with. Did you have gold last year?
Say again?
Did you have gold? So you have team picker. Is he on your side at the moment?
At the moment he is, but I'm literally going, as we go through together, that's how I'm making my team. So I haven't even worried about what's next yet. So, but he is, yes.
Yeah, I really like him.
I like what you're doing. So you're just making your team
as we talk about it. I'm having a look and making my team. Otherwise, I stress too much during the week.
I really like your approach, and I've got a feeling about you this year. I feel like with the guidance of the SuperCoach experience, you've got the champ in your corner. I think 22 might be a year, and I might really get behind you. Yeah,
I like it.
Yeah. Okay, are you into
It's
Shrine?
funny, you're not actually the guru in our cricket chat. Like, you're not the SuperCoach guru. It's Grant.
Yeah, correct. But as I go through my journey as SuperCoach, I think I've picked up little bits and pieces, and I think this year I'm going to take it super seriously. I don't know. We're not like directly sponsored by like SuperCoach, so I can talk about fantasy.
Yeah. Of course.
In the past, I've mainly played that, but in the last 4 or 5 years, I've made the jump over to SuperCoach just because fantasy got a bit easy and a bit boring. So
I mean, I haven't played too much fantasy, but what are your thoughts on it? Like playing both, like what's the benefits and what's
I think the fantasy platform, that the actual how it looks on your phone and the ability to navigate it and look at stats and stuff is much better. I know a lot of people don't.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I find SuperCoach really like wordy and like a bit of an eyesore.
Really?
Bit of an eyesore.
I've never played it.
That's right. Yeah, fantasy has like pretty pictures and really evenly defined like stats and columns and stuff. The draft system is way easier to navigate, like with the waivers and stuff like that. But a lot of people have issues with the scoring on fantasy.
Do they have a big prize?
They do. I don't think it's as big as SuperCoach prize, but maybe have a double. But I don't know. Up to you. But I know people get upset.
I like to put all my eggs in one basket.
That's fine.
I'm an egg one basket.
Often you get the same players that do well in both, but it doesn't reward. People have issues with the scoring, and it doesn't reward brilliant, like individual brilliance, like a Tommy Turbo last year. Like
as much.
In his huge games where he's scoring 200 plus in SuperCoach. Like it's obviously he's scoring well in fantasy, but you get rewarded more for your base stats and your grinding.
Interested.
Yeah. Anyway, enough fantasy chat.
Anyway, that was
it's a SuperCoach experience.
It was meant to be a
experience.
quick like yes or no answer, but you've kind of turned it into like a advocation for fantasy.
I don't like fantasy. I'm not about it.
The champ just kept asking me questions, so I had to talk about it.
So you've got Lukey for us at a mid-ranger.
Yeah.
Have you got any more?
Hey, hold on. He started. Let's go with someone that you think is on the top of your priority list for the second row.
This is how I approach it, mate. My team picker, like as you can see here, there's zero in it, and I don't think I will pick a team till TLT. It's just the way I do it. There's reasons for it, but look, I like the idea of talking about players and stuff like that. I think I think for me the big one is like who are the big price ones that we want to start with, and who do we not want to start with. I was saying to Savs over here on the drive that I think that I'd lock in for Feeder, but then I've just opened it up, and at his price, it's just so much more expensive than the others, and I don't know whether. Geez, it's an expensive. It's expensive. I don't know with the other things I might want to do. I don't know whether I can afford that. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So,
Yeah. Sav said to me last week, where am I going to cheap out? And I don't know. I'm thinking second row might be it, but it's going to be so hard to not have a feeder for the first few rounds.
I've got a certain fullback in my side that is quite pricey. So I do have to cheap out. And
we're not talking about fullbacks this week, Savs.
This is one of the positions I'm cheaping out on. And my biggest price player up until yesterday was Ewan Aiken at 486,000. I'll talk about him shortly. But
hang on. So apart from Turbo, did you say your most expensive?
Oh, no, in the second row.
Oh, right.
In the second row.
In the whole team.
No. So I've got Ryan Madison in my side. Finished the season quite well last year.
Oh, get him out. He started. I didn't want to start with him last year. Get rid of him. I'll just tell you.
Have you heard the whole contract fiasco with him?
Get off him.
That's why I think it's a perfect time to get him.
Get off him. He's good, man, but he's good in...
He might not even start,
I don't like it, man, okay?
I don't know.
He let me down to start off the first couple of rounds. You got injured, you got the head HIA. I just don't do it. Don't do it.
Don't do it?
Yeah, bad vibes. The energy just came into my body.
You're big on your energy, aren't you?
Yeah, the energy was wrong on Madison, I'll tell you now.
Well, he had a lot of...
Sell him to the game.
HIA affected games last year, and ending the season, he kind of got off to the point where he needed to be. So he started the season with a 67 and a 35. That's when he got injured in 46 minutes. When he came back, this is very quiet. He's a silent achiever here. After round 8, which is when he came back, 80 minutes pretty much every week. There was a week there where he played 59. He went back down in minutes, but then 60 points, 85, 74, and then he was down in minutes for the next couple of weeks because of his HIA. And then when he got back to 80 minutes or 70 plus minutes, he scored 70, 135, 72, 56, 64, and then played 60 minutes and scored 42. So
here's what I want to say about Ryan Madison. Okay, so I started with Ryan Madison last year. I remember after round 1 that he scored, 67? I felt really unimpressed with it. I didn't like what I saw from the eye test.
Yep.
And I wasn't impressed with it as a premium price player. I thought, I've got too much money in him at the moment for a starting side. And I wanted to sell him after round 1. And then Adrianosaurus Rex was like, talked me out of it, I think. So he was my advisor for the first week until they go. So if someone gives me bad advice, then I'd jump off him, But no, look, I love Adrianosaurus Rex. I did end up buying Madison back for the Origin period.
Yeah.
Because he was the best option for building an Origin around the buys and stuff like that. But the thing is, man, I don't think he's a starting side guy for you. I think that there's just not enough in him. And Para's not got enough punch. I'd just stay off him to start with.
I agree. I think you were saying the contract fiasco reckons work in his favour. What's the chat that Para don't want to pay him as much as he's on and he's going to have to take a pay
Para doesn't
cut?
want to pay anyone as much as what they're worth.
That's right. I'm not sure. I'm looking now and he's the same price as, I know we spoke about him last week and you'll probably play him in the front row, but he's the same price nearly exactly as Tavita Pangai Jr. And I know which one I'd prefer to have.
See, you make a really good point there because I've got Tavita Pangai Jr. in my front row, but I don't have Payne Haas. Payne Haas is
so you get
20,
Payne Haas, TPJ,
and then put TPJ in the second row.
Over Madison. And if Madison starts well,
I'd just put TPJ in your front row.
No. I'm not spending that much in the front row.
All right. Well, if you okay, that's fine.
As in, you don't want Haas and TPJ, so you can have TPJ.
You probably can't with Turbo, but
there you go.
So. Yeah, so that allows me to have Haas and
I'd be aiming to move TPJ up
eventually. Yeah.
Who's scoring more, Haas or Madison? 100% Haas,
yeah.
right?
Yeah, agree.
Even though I made a bold prediction last week that he's going to average less than 60, but Ryan Madison, I'm not confident he's going to average more than 60. So
Madison, you'll get your 40s weeks and stuff like that. You'll get the weeks of frustrating. Haas is one of those guys that's not going to give you any frustration anyway.
Yeah,
you don't need stress. You get enough stress in decisions and stuff.
I feel much better about that. All right, let's start with Ewan Aiken, 486,000. You had a bit of a surprise look when Oh
No, I just
yeah.
thought he was the most expensive player in the team. Not
But Ewan
in the second
Aiken,
row.
in the past, if someone is playing second row and they're available at centre wing, you plug him in at the centre wing. But my thought process is, this is where I'm scabbing out. The new rules are in favour of the back scoring big. So even if he kind of plays centre, I kind of like him at the second row slot. What do you guys think?
You go, champ. I'm not a fan, but you
I
go.
don't mind it. It's kind of like a Kurt Capewell kind of.
Is it though? Is it?
A little bit.
It's like a reverse, but you've got to adapt to the times. Like back in the past, base stat was always rewarded. You wanted that safe 50.
He looked real nice towards the back end of last year. He looked very Supercoach relevant. It looked like you wanted to try find a way
That's
to get
in the
him
second row though, correct?
Yes.
And is he 100% going to play there?
Well, there's Josh Curran. There
If he's
is
playing in the
Elias
centres, then I'm not
Katoa.
interested.
And
Tohu Harris has played there a little bit on the edge.
Tohu Harris is not he's not starting the season, is
I
he?
don't think he will. No.
I don't
His
think
knee's
he
cooked,
is.
yeah.
So if Curran starts at lock potentially, that probably opens up a spot for him. Actually, that reminds
Talking
me.
about Curran, I think Curran, someone at that price, he might be worth. He's better than a Ryan Madison. I would go Curran over Madison. So Josh Curran is 586, and Madison, is 569. So for about, I think, 17k more or something like that, you're getting Josh Curran, who's really super. Okay, I'm saying Madison's not Supercoach relevant now. He's very much is so, but at the right time, I think. But Curran just looks very, very. I don't know. Like he does individual things, he does team things, he just looks good, man. He just looks very good for Supercoach.
And he's from the area, I'm pretty sure.
Josh Curran, this area.
Yeah.
Is he really?
I think so. Is it the Fiddler one night?
Oh, is it a fiddler?
I'm pretty sure, yeah.
Well,
Anyway.
have to keep that in mind, mate.
Just
I'm not.
'cause-
If Aiken plays second row, your point's valid. If he plays centre,
the base stat isn't there for the security because, like, at least with them kind of 5 slots, you get that base.
yeah.
Yeah.
And then you got to remember, you compared him to Kurt Capewell. Capewell was playing in the best attacking side in the comp, and I don't know if Aiken is going to get anywhere near as many attacking stats as Capewell did.
Yeah, that's fair enough. Talking about Ewan Aiken, I've done some swishes. You know what swish is?
Yeah, the video messages.
Yeah. So I've got one from Ben Trebojevic. I've got one from Tyrone Peachy. And we're waiting on one from Ewan Aiken. I'm not going to play them today because I actually can't connect to this.
I don't know what Savs is paying him to say, but I think they're saying it word for word, and it's just funny.
We were going to get Kickout, but we could get these 3 players for the same price.
Listen, if you're ever getting kicked out, the only
fuck
thing.
off.
Don't swear on the.
Ben McDermott's my captain, and I forgot to change it just before the game.
It was a screener too.
There could be children watching. There could be like some up and comers, like in
Do you guys have the little E next to the podcast? Next to the
yeah.
What's an E mean?
Explicit.
Is it?
Oh wait, no, we don't.
That was just it was an aggressive F off. That's all it was. Like it was
That's
very
a good
aggressive.
catch, just quietly. If anyone's watching the Renegades game from what day is it?
Who is that? Is that
Zach
Josh
Evans.
Zach Evans?
Wait, don't worry
Anyway,
about that.
back to the.
What do you think that rates compared to Fraser McGurk, Maxwell, and Abbott? Is that up
fourth.
there?
No.
That's 4th?
No, 4th easily.
Yeah. All right, second rowers.
I got one for
You
you.
got one?
I've got 2 more. Do you want another mid price that's a bit different?
Yeah, I like
or
a
do you
midi.
want-
I know someone else that loves a midi. Mike is a big fan of a midi,
Okay.
but go on.
I think my second row will probably be made up of middies. I don't know if I'm going to start with him. It's Jack DeBellin.
Mm.
Hear
How
me
much
out.
is he?
Hear
I've
me
seen
out.
no chat about him
Hear me
at
out.
all.
I tried to come up with something a little bit different. He's 440k.
No. Yeah,
Just hear me out. Hear me out. My only query is how many minutes he's going to play with the new look Saints side.
No, you don't want a bar of it. I know. Yeah, I'm happy to hear you out.
Hear me out.
I'll hear you.
And
He played last year. He played 11 games after his court thing was all done. I actually like him as a player. Did he play for the Blues, or was he going to play for the Blues
No,
a
he
few
played
years
for
ago?
the Blues.
Before,
He
yeah.
played
So
for the
I
Blues.
think. Listen, wait. Don't say anything yet.
I'll say this. I love Jake Trebojevic, but
There was 4.
His type of player is better than a Jake Trebojevic.
Correct. Similar roles, but just a bit more something about him.
Yeah.
There was 4 games in those 11 towards the back end after he had a bit of time under his belt. Obviously hasn't played much footy recently, where he played close to 80 minutes. There was one where he played 72, 75, 78 and 80. Averaged 70 in those games with no tries.
That went unnoticed then. Average 70.
Yeah. It was only only those 4 games where he played 80. Most of the games...
To be honest, though,
for the first
I did not know... Like, any games that he played last year, I did not notice him.
Exactly. Well, neither did I. Imagine if we start noticing him.
Yeah, okay.
All of a sudden...
There's always one every year that people just completely throw out straight away.
Yeah.
And then when you start actually looking at them, when they get that one big score, people start looking at them and look at their string of games that they stringed along for the start. He could be that type of guy.
I'm not saying I'm going to start with him because if he's not playing the...
Price is awkward. I think he's one to keep an eye on.
Absolutely. And I preface that by saying, he's not someone I'm 100% going to start with.
In a
someone
fresh
I'm look
season, perhaps maybe he's got a lot to prove, a lot of owed football back to him, he feels. But I don't know. I feel like there's a lot of skeletons there. And
okay, 2 Penrith fans here, and we're sitting in the home of Penrith. The premiership trophy sitting right over there. I can see it.
I haven't seen it.
It's over there.
No, it must be behind the pole.
Yeah. Anyway, Liam Martin, 428. Kurt Capewell, 430. Very similar prices. Where do you kind of rank them? Liam Martin was really high on my list, but I've kind of looked at his games, and he kind of when he gets big minutes, his base stats are kind of the same.
I think he's obviously going to play a role for the Panthers. I'm not sure how SuperCoach relevant he's going to be this year. He'll play right, we go left. He tries his hardest, and he's a workhorse. I'm just not sure. Kurt Capewell didn't blow anyone away when he was there. Like, he was handed having
It didn't blow me.
No pun intended.
Well, no one blowed him away anyway.
Anyway, I'm done. That'll do me. But you know what I mean?
That is glorious.
He was good having the centres.
Glorious. You're so good at puns. He's a really he is never funny unless it's involving puns. If it's a pun, he always hits it on the nail on the head, though. You are funny. You are funny.
All I'm saying is Jack DeBella, similar price. That's all I'm saying.
See, I kind of like it. You were saying that there's too many skeletons in the closet. I think he's the type of character that, like, unlike a Jared Hayne, when Jared Hayne came back from, like, all his dramas, there were skeletons in the closet. He's not that type of... You're talking about people last week who are hungry. Jack DeBellin is the type of guy who, the world is up against him, and he's the kind of guy who would work to make that... strive to make that work.
He does seem like a fighter, doesn't he?
Yes.
He does seem like he would... Yeah, seems like a guy you'd put in a movie as the lead role as a Viking or something like that. Okay, sweet. Okay. I want to ask you about stuff, guys, like the likes of Cam Murray and Angus Crichton.
So these guys are staples in our side pretty much every year. And
Murray didn't feature in my side at all last year. And I know he didn't feature in many. He did in some. I know
a lot of people were really high on him.
Timmy Williams is a big Cam Murray fanboy, so he had him in his side. And he did do well at times.
You were saying last week you loved the pretty boys. Like, I'm very surprised he wasn't in your side.
Yeah, he just didn't... I didn't feel he was... Obviously, he wasn't right for the side and last year, but he could... Look, I like the idea of him having a captaincy. I think that, probably... I don't know whether it definitely means that. It might mean he gets a little bit more minutes.
Yeah.
But...
Do you think Reynolds hurts him at all or not?
I don't think so.
No, I don't think so. I think his role will still be... Because I think he was really SuperCoach relevant when he first came up, right?
Yep.
And then he sort of was a bit stagnant a little bit.
Yep.
I think he could have a breakout-ish sort of year, possibly, depending on the role he plays. We think he's going to be a lock. He's going to be locked.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Yeah.
They do mess him around a little bit.
If Cam Murray is a good option this year, does that mean if he's going to get more minutes? Does that mean good for Cook?
We had this chat last week, didn't we? And
No, not necessarily with Cam. did we talk about Cam Murray?
How do you think
Cook?
Cam Murray complements Cook?
Well, more time on the field, more quick play the balls, more scoots out of dummy half.
Yeah, that's a very fair call. I appreciate that. He does play the ball quite fast. I asked the question. You gave me a good answer.
Yeah.
I'm happy with that. That's good. Angus.
I'm waiting.
I don't know. I'm not convinced he'll play any more minutes. I think he'll still play his usual 60 or 65 max kind of thing.
Because their middle rotation is quite similar at the moment. Yeah.
But I guess you are right. I think he will. I think Cook will benefit from that. But it doesn't mean I'm going to start with Cook. It doesn't mean that I'm going to have.
I think I prefer Curran at 580 than Murray at 614.
Say again. Sorry. Oh, 580. I thought he said 5'8".
Yeah.
What do you think I said?
5'8", as in like number 6.
He struggled to hear what you're
yeah. Okay, so Curran is 580K.
Yeah.
He couldn't hear you clearly because you cut him off.
Sorry, bro. I'm massive.
I do think Murray's a better option than Curran, but I don't think I'm going to start.
I think Curran's a better option than Murray.
I don't think I'm going to start with any of those guys at that price point. I'm leaning towards maybe Fafita and multiple, maybe one midi, and then the rest are all pretty cheap.
I'm really confused in the second row. Like with
I don't
here's
know.
why with the team picker and stuff. The reason I don't make my team until TLT is I'll start to lock in these, things and I'll find a side that looks right. And what I've found in the past is TLT comes around, and then you're missing a couple of players, and then you're trying to just replace those 3 holes of the players that you're missing with 3 other players similar price, and it just isn't then the best side to be starting with. So I feel like we just there's a lot to wait and see. But the thing is, I really think I think the Curran's someone I could start with though. That's the only overpriced. Maybe
it astounds me how you want it. Your thoughts are all over the place, eh?
Right.
I'd love to rewind 1 year and just see what he was like last year before it.
He was
pretty much
even more. He was so clueless last year. Like
I remember we were out in the back of Panthers out there. We were both a little bit drunk, and I showed you. I was like, I've got a couple of cheapies. What do you think of them? And you started filling my side back up with a side. Like, this is your side, and I was like, and then I cancelled it and then just remade something else. Like when TLT came, but I'm a bit of a last minute guy.
Speaking of cheapie,
you got a cheapie.
I've got one. And it's no surprise. I'm sure you'll agree. And it's going against what Mikey said last week. If you're happy to move on with it to a cheap,
I'm excited. Mate.
And to be honest, it goes against what I said about you and Aiken. I'll probably play him in the centre. I probably won't play him in the second row.
Yep.
It's Isaac Targo from the Panthers.
Yeah.
Juicy.
Absolute
100%.
lock in, whether it's at second row, whether it's at centre wing. I was looking for my research that I do for this great podcast. I was looking at his 2021 New South Wales Cup highlights, the few games that there were at the start of the year, and he's just absolutely electric. He does everything. He's rapid. He's like a fast Brian Toto. Like, cannot tackle the bloke. Heaps of skill at the line. Like, little drop on the boot for his winger. I hope he starts centre for the Panthers.
Can I just say, watching junior highlights, that's a thing I did a lot last year.
There you go.
So when a player
forget about it. It's
a good thing, man. They put some sort of montage music in the background, and the player just looks hectic.
Yeah,
because they're doing that's their highlights. But then you kind of get I could do this. But Tago's looks great.
He's electric, and I hope he starts. I know. Mikey was saying last week they'll probably pull a Swifty on us and start. I know Crichton just signed for us or something.
Yeah, I saw that, and it just reminded me of Mikey.
Yeah, and then I think
so we're getting Christian Crichton back.
Yeah,
I think it was already in the work. I think it was already.
Is he Stevens?
I thought he already signed.
I heard an announcement.
Stephen Crichton's brother.
They're brothers.
Yeah, the lesser brother. But anyway, I think he'll start in centres. I hope he does. The glimpses that we saw of him in first grade last year, I really like him, and I'll be starting with him somewhere in my side. And look, it'll probably be centre wing, but I was excited to talk about him, so I thought I'd bring him up now because he's available
if he
at
gets a
second
starting
row.
spot, you got to lock him in. He leads SuperCoach Juicy. What price is he?
287.
Yeah,
that's a bit lower than a midi. It's cheap. It's not. It's a bit over cheapish. It's a bit under midish. But
I feel like this year, especially in the context of quality, that's a really good price.
Great.
Considering
if he keeps the roll, I could see him easy growing to 450K, and you could upgrade him to someone.
And the rest. Yeah.
And that's if he's starting centre, right? What if he is named on the bench round 1
I'll probably
I'll still go
I'll
with
still
him, I
have
reckon, yeah.
yeah.
Not at that on the bench. I wouldn't start with the 400k guy. I don't.
280.
Oh, 280. Okay, yeah. Sorry. Yeah.
And you probably consider still playing him as well.
Maybe not week one, but I'd still say
just think of it. He will go directly into Liam Martin's role last year.
Will he though, or will he?
Or will that be Hopgood or Sorensen?
I think Sorensen plays middle, and I think he did a lot last year, and he was really good, which is why I worry about our pack a little bit, and why I threw a few spanners in the works.
While we're talking about Panthers guys, I think Eddie Blacker, might get a
start as on the bench. You reckon?
Front row sort of bit of a could be the Spencer Linu of last year. Might not.
Well, Spencer Linu is going to be the Spencer Linu of last year.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
Yeah.
Between Linu, Sorensen, Targo, and Kenny. See, I can't. They've just signed Kenny long term, and I know Mikey was saying he thinks that Targo will be our 14. I disagree. I think Kenny will be our 14 because why sign him?
Kenny has to be the 14
why,
this year.
and I actually like Kenny. I'm not a huge fan of Kenny going forward as our hooker.
I like Targo as a better 14 because he covers more roles.
We're talking about Kenny. We're talking about Mitch Kenny.
Does he though?
And Targo.
Why carry a centre second rower on the bench when you can carry a 9/lock like?
Yeah.
Especially when RP is so valuable to us. I can't see Targo starting at 14 if you're going to have Mitch Kenny in the side, and I think Mitch Kenny will be in the side given he's just signed a new deal and he looks to be RP's successor.
Unless you see Penrith sign like a high-profile hooker for next year before the season starts.
Correct.
And then they'll they won't feel like they need to have him in the side. But this year they will, 100%.
I think he'll be in the side, which makes me think Targo will start in Momirovski's spot on the right centre.
But don't forget, there's two spots to fill. The winger spot, Christian Crime probably doesn't get a start. I think
Taylor May starts with Targo.
Taylor May and Targo. That's what I think.
Taylor May, how much is he going to be? He's a centre though, right?
Yeah. So 252.
Yeah,
I think he's nice too.
Actually, look, let's be honest. I hope Taylor starts. I think Staines will start.
Yeah.
And then I hope it gets changed pretty soon. So.
All right, we're losing track a bit. Let's get back to it. I guess within the cheapie mould, Brendan Pierre, is he in your side at the moment?
Not at the moment.
Not at the moment. What are your thoughts on him, and do you think he'll get a go?
I don't know, to be honest. I'm not going to lie.
I've heard massive raps on him, and that's it. I've heard massive raps on him. 188,000 for the Broncos. You know, the Broncos will probably start with Ricky on the right side maybe this year.
They just got the Broncos teams. We spoke about it last week. They just got when you were trying to convince me that Haas was no good. Just the names you spat out.
You weren't convinced.
Yeah, I don't know how he's going to be. Anyway, how he's going to play or what role he's going to play. But
all right, let's brush past that.
Manly fan, will Ben Travojevic, our Swish friend, feature this year more? Do you think?
I don't think so.
Probably not. No. What they say? They came out during the week and said he was training really well at second row and wants to carve his own name and whatnot. I just don't think it's going to be this year. But
look who they've got in second row. They've got Josh Schuster, who's young. Olakwatu, who's young. They've got Andrew Davey, who is coming back from injury. They've signed Ethan Bullimore, who can play there. They've also got...
Davey might be interesting this year.
Davey will be interesting, but I think with the emergence of Schuster and Olakwatu, he's probably not going to play a role relevant for SuperCoach.
Yeah.
I guess with Manly, I'm not looking anywhere at Manly besides Turbo and possibly Garrick.
Yeah, there was a bit of chat about... I saw one of the Facebook teams about Paseka being like a mid-price, someone who's a bit who's could be relevant, but I didn't like it. But I don't know if you blokes have looked into that at all, but no. I wasn't a fan. Yeah, good. Like
TC Rabati.
Hey, are you just going through the list and being
I'm
like,
going through the list. What are you doing? He's got prepared notes.
I'm about to bring someone up. So you talked about Fafita before. We didn't elaborate on it. So Fafita is obviously the premium option at 745,000. Is that too much if you're holding a Cleary or a Turbo?
Look, probably, but while I'm still optimistic I haven't finished my team, I'm thinking I just hate not to own him. And I actually like the AJ Brimson move into 5'8" for him as well.
Yeah.
I have this big theory about David Fifita and Viliame Kikau. Not that Viliame Kikau is relevant, but
Yeah.
He is very relevant.
no, you know what I mean. But
I love the big
he
kicks.
cops they both cop the old lazy, sloppy, no good because they don't search for the ball. And I think you look at, obviously watched the Panthers games really closely last year, and you look at the form of Jerome Luai throughout the year, how he kind of had that dip in the middle. And I think that coincided with Viliame Kikau getting a few bad raps about not looking at the ball, not looking for the ball. And I think it's the same for David Fifita. I think the second rower's involvement and impact on the game, I think, is heavily dictated by what their halves inside them are doing. And if Jerome Luai, for example, with Kikau was just kind of shoveling the ball and not running, Kikau had nothing to play with, no room to work, and he's not going to go infield and have a tough hit up, and that's just what they do. So I think Brimson and Sexton, who are they're going to start for the Titans, I think they'll be really good at getting Fifita involved. And I think
Giving him good ball,
not just the old schoolboy shovel it off to him and hope he beats 6 blokes, which he did multiple times last year.
Yeah.
But
That's what I like
that's why
about
I
it,
can't.
though, that he can do
I agree.
that,
I agree.
you
But
know.
imagine him doing that with good ball,
He
Yeah.
just does those tackle busts, just pumping
which is
people
why it's going to
off.
be an absolute nightmare to not have him at the start of the year. I
Yeah, I
think.
think I'd try find a way to start with him.
I think he's going to start very similar to the way he did last year. Maybe, obviously, not 2 hat-tricks within the space of 3 weeks, but I'm very scared he's going to do that, and I'm very scared of starting without him because of that.
They have a
And
reasonably,
they got a good draw,
reasonably
right?
gentle draw too. They got Para twice, but in the first 5 games.
What's Para though?
No, I agree. But they've got the Warriors, Canberra, and Wests to start as well.
Yeah, that's
so
pretty good.
I like it a lot. I'm gonna try and get in, but I don't know if I will because I'll probably have Cleary as well. So
Yeah. So I mean, the next podcast will be the halves, and Cleary's going to be a massive talking point. Like, he's going to look fit for round 1.
he's looking that way, isn't
He's
it?
like, he's not in a sling anymore, and he's seeing lots of photos of him at training well.
So
Very tough.
I've got a couple I'd like to discuss, if that's okay.
This is the number one, the reigning champions thought process. This is legit. Like, this time last year, you were not looking at it. This is what he was doing.
I wasn't even on the podcast.
No.
I said I got nothing to contribute.
No,
so now
this is what he was doing the week of TLT. I'm not even kidding.
Just scrolling through.
Yeah.
Can you talk? I didn't follow your journey very closely last year.
I feel very disrespected by that because it was a very beautiful journey.
I'll be honest, but can you talk me through the highs and lows of the year? So did you start going out of the blocks and
I
just kept
started
going?
well. I was like 190th after first week. Then I went to about 2000th after week 2 and 3, and then got back up into, I believe, around
It was like 500th day.
500th, and then I started creeping back into 100th, and then sort of midway through it, I reached I reached rank 13, and then I was like, oh, I'm on here, and then 13th, I think I went pretty much to first, and then pretty much held it from there.
So for a quarter of the season, you were first and just trying to hold on.
Yeah, I'd say the back half. I'd have to go back over and check it, but my memory of it's a little hazy. It was all very like a big dream, you know what I mean? But yeah. So look, back to next year though. Look, I'm looking at these two guys. You're talking about DeBellin, and at a similar price at only $100 or actually $800 more is Satili Tupanua. I think I'd prefer him in a good Roosters side over Jack DeBellin in a, look, let's wait and see.
But for me, you're about to say that the Dragons are rubbish, which
Well, I know the young kids, they've got a lot of potential
no, I agree.
and they might
but
look good.
that's why I like him even more.
Yeah.
He's gonna have such a big role to play in the middle that I think he plays big minutes.
But I just think in a Roosters side that are like a full strength, that are pumping teams week after week, like week 1, 38-4, week 2, 40-0, week 3, it'll be big scores when they're fully strength, unless they're coming up against another really strong opponent. And I just think when they're scoring a lot of points, Satili's always on the back of some tries and some attacks. So I think I'd prefer to go with that attacking, like knowing that team's going to score points. So I don't know. It depends how let's see how the rules change and stuff. But I don't think they'll pull much back. I think I prefer Satili.
I'd put money on it now that you won't start with Tupanua.
I think I might at a 400.
You're just trying to convince yourself not to start with DeBellin.
I wouldn't start with DeBellin.
No, neither would I. But
I would start with Satili over him. But then the next guy I want to look at is Carrigan. Do you think that he is someone that will have a bigger year this?
Well, he didn't play at all last year.
What was it? It was a cheapie 2 years ago, was it?
Yeah, he was...
And he was consistent too.
He was a mid-ranger, and he turned into someone who you could really rely on, like always 60, 70 plus. And especially with the minutes, like he scores at a gun rate. But I don't know, I think especially with Haas, like demanding big minutes, like you guys argued last week. I'm not going against what I said last week, but with so much people in their middle rotation, I don't think he gets the minutes that we want him to. We want him 60 plus for him to be a gun.
I agree. I think he's probably someone you'll keep your eye on, but how much was he, did you say?
460.
Yeah, nah. I'd rather DeBellin, 100%.
Oh, I don't know about that.
I'd rather Liam Martin, because Liam Martin's got the upside as well.
I love that there's so many interesting similar.
That's what I'm saying.
It's going to be a good year. It's going to be a good year.
When Savs told me we were doing second row forwards, I panicked a little bit because
I
didn't know where I was going.
It's a very tough position. It's a tough position.
Even
you got to fill 6 spots.
And there's even I haven't mentioned this guy, but Kurt Capewell going up to the Broncos. I mean, when he played 80 minutes last year, he was always a really good point scorer. And you had him in your side. Did you have him in your side last year?
Yeah, I did for a bit in centre. Yeah.
You knew
I started with him.
You knew when he played the good sides, and you would always be confident playing him because he'd play 80 minutes against the good sides. This is going to happen for the Broncos, especially with their kind of second row rotation. Like, he's just going to be the senior guy.
He is marquee there too. Like, they're chucking him up on all their bloody photos. Him and Adam Reynolds are the two people they put up in all the jerseys and stuff to promote their stuff. So,
and with Penrith a lot of the time, the game was over.
They'll use him
by the second half. So they were able to give him that rest. With this time, let me get his 80 minutes performances up while you guys deliberate.
I like it.
He can find the try line, can't he?
On the back of a Panthers back line he can, but I don't know if the Brisbane side is going to get him over the line.
No. He scored 100 points against Melbourne in round 2 when Cleary wasn't there. Wow. And that was...
Mate, Cleary's not... We're not a one-man team. Yeah. Like you blokes.
I feel like if DCE wasn't in the side, Manly would probably be... Yeah,
he'd be fine.
Right. So 80-minute performances for Capewell, 95 in round 3 against Melbourne, 82 in round 6 against the Broncos. He played 73... Oh, wait, no, I'm looking at this the other way around. 80 minutes, 73 points in round 11. 80 minutes, 48 points in round 19. 37, 30... Oh, yeah, it got worse. but
yeah, I remember him not being great at... What are the time towards it? And that people trying to get rid of him and feed him out, but
we went right. I remember Penrith going right a lot early doors, and then it was
annoying.
Then we went back left heaps like we usually do, but I don't know. The more you talk about it, the more I think is he still available at centre as well or not?
He's not.
Okay,
but I wouldn't choose him at centre. Like, I'm taking the opposite approach this year, where
just going cheap, hot, young.
You want try scorers.
That's what I'm saying.
In your centre wing.
Yeah. I think it's good to have a guy you can bank in there though, but not at 400. Yeah. Anyway, I don't mind it, but
yeah. Cool. Who else have we got? Is there another on your list there, or are you still scrolling through the app?
My list is just about done.
I mean, we talked about Ruben Cotter. If he gets that 13 role, then I'm sure he'll feature in a lot of sides.
Can we go back to Tupanua for a second?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Angus Crichton.
He featured in my side twice and it was very helpful. I started with him and then
is this your head or your heart speaking?
And then I remember when I brought it.
There's a bit of a smile there.
He's good, bro. He's good when they get him the ball, bro. I like him.
He's good. No, I like him as a...
And at that price, he's all right. And... yeah, then I remember bringing him back. It was funny because Costa was like one of my main competitors last year. from the Searching for Corey Parker podcast, and he was doing quite well. And the week he sold Satilli, I bought him.
Right.
And then Satilli started killing it, and he's like, I just sold him in the chat, and I'm like, yeah, I just bought him, and I felt like a legend. But he's good. He's good. I like Satilli, and I think in a gun Roosters side, I think he'll have a lot of.
They got big raps on Egan Butcher.
Yeah.
Will he play edge there, or will he play in the middle?
I don't think he'll take his spot.
Satilli
Not take spot. I think he'll take minutes though.
No, Satilli played 80 minutes like every
game
last year, didn't he?
Oh, I don't know. I can't remember.
I'll have a look.
I don't know.
I've got last year up.
I don't think he did always play 80, to be fair. I feel like he did come off for a bit. I do feel like he did come off.
Tamalolo? No?
No, Tamalolo's.
At 485.
He played 80 minutes every year last year. There was
game.
a few games where, he didn't, but you can kind of, he scored 125 in a 65-minute game.
In a gun Roosters side, he's a gun. In a gun Roosters
they will
side,
be good. They will be very good this year too.
I'm telling you, Satilli is an option. He's a good option.
All right, let me get their draw up. If their draw is good, he's going to be in my side. So let's just get the draw up. So Newcastle, Manly, Rabbitohs, Cowboys, Broncos, Warriors, Dragons. They got a great draw.
Manly South.
Souths.
It's a bit of everything. Souths
even
man.
Souths last year.
Souths are the last year's grand finals. What are you talking about?
Look at Souths last year at the start of the season. Titans, Fafita scored a hat-trick against Souths. Penrith put 50 on Souths early in the season.
Yeah, but they've finished off well. They've just lost the grand final. They're probably going to have a lot to fight.
Could be different. Yeah, you're right. I mean,
a lot to play.
Wayne just got him peaking at the end, didn't he? Who knows what? Oh, mate.
It's not going to be an easy game. It's not an easy game.
Demetrio.
Yeah, that's the one. Who knows what he's going to do?
But yeah, I just think in a gun Roosters side, when there's everything going on, I think he's a great option.
Yeah, okay. All right. You win. You've convinced me.
I think for if you get a discount on him from an Angus, if you can't fit Angus in there.
Oh, there's no chance I'll be fitting. No chance I'll be starting with Angus.
I can't see myself starting with Angus, but for
not just because it's Angus, just because it's expensive.
It's very expensive.
482. It's about
expensive
the price
for someone who didn't really make a dent in the SuperCoach competition last year. I guess it just proves that what the expectation of him is. His base was good, but he just didn't quite attack very well. I just put that bell off because Tupanua is in my side.
Yeah, I've just pretty much decided now.
Yeah.
I've really talked myself into. I'm looking at the other options of prices, and I'm like, he stands out about everyone else around him.
He's honestly
in that team.
He's better than Liam Martin for me.
I agree.
He's on top of that list.
I agree.
Yeah,
he's got upside, bro. He's got big upside. There'll be games that he's not gonna He'll do his 40s where he gets a bit quiet. Unfortunately, sometimes he got stuck in weird positions like Angus did, and getting stuck in the centres, or was on a wing defending at times and weird stuff like that. Just weird stuff. But in a full strength side, when they've just punching defence,
that'll be good.
They're giving him the ball, he's just going to crash over.
That'll be good again this year. Really good. It'll be Panthers Roosters grand final.
Tupanua, I think, is a good option, guys. I think everyone.
I don't know. Did Penrith make it again?
Penrith make what?
Grand final.
Grand final.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean,
Panthers. Panthers Roosters.
Yeah.
We spoke about McInnes. There's a 480 Satilli is. Here's one at a similar price. Adam Elliott. 479,000.
Yeah, but they're weird players at weird clubs, and you don't need to do that, man. You just need to go for the attacking point side.
Canberra have Corey Huiranira, Elliot Whitehead, Hudson Young, Joe Tarpany.
So you're just saying no, basically.
But I think he's going to start lock.
But even if he gets a starting role, he plays heaps. Why would, if you're going to give a similar price, you want a guy that's in a side that's pumping sides and scoring points and not just bloody making tackles. Adam Elliott, nah.
I love Adam Elliott.
So you're completely brushing Tamalolo.
Yeah.
100% at 485.
You're a Tamalolo fan, aren't you?
I'm not. I didn't realize he was 480. I didn't realize how cheap he was.
Look, if he I'm happy to be wrong on it, and if he comes out and he kills it, and then I'll rush him in if he was doing what he used to do. But I just don't see it anymore. I feel like he really is on. I know how many more years has he signed for?
6 or something, like stupid.
I feel like he's in the back end of his years.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I don't know what's
It feels like he has 2 years left.
He looks injured and he looks sore.
No, but I mean, that's where you find value in players where you can, like, we know he's a 700k player at his best.
How old is he?
He's young. He's my age, 27.
It's not young, mate, but it's
Yeah, I know.
yeah, I don't know. I don't mind it.
Yeah,
I think I like it.
You have to wait and see. You'd
Absolutely,
don't
yeah,
want to be disappointed.
I need to see how his contract right now plays out because obviously he's.
They're not trying to flick him, are they? They're trying to get rid of him.
Well, they've issued him a warning or something, just saying like because obviously he can't travel.
Oh, right,
Yeah.
vaccine.
Yeah, with the whole vaccine and the COVID thing,
Like,
I'd stay off that. And plus,
I
the second
think
thing is, man,
especially every player that isn't, and like Nelson has suffered salmonella.
don't need that stress.
Just don't pick them because there's going to be times where they potentially can't. Like, look at what happened to Novak Djokovic. Like,
you don't need the stress.
like you don't want to be in that situation.
But the thing with Lolo as well is the reason it was no good last year is because the coach was, trying to preserve him because they've signed him for such a long time that they want to,
Get the most out of him.
Not get the most out of him. They want to actually make sure they can still be playing him in bloody 6 years' time. Because if they put him on there for 80 minutes and stuff, he'll be done. They won't be paying him. He'll be done and dusted. So they're trying to stretch him out and just give him little stints. That ain't good for SuperCoach. But if he can stay on the field, that's what their team needs him to stay on the field.
Yep.
But I feel like they're a bit hesitant to do that because of they've got that long signing out of him.
I agree.
So I wouldn't want him for SuperCoach.
How do you feel this episode is gone?
It hasn't made me any clearer, but I've appreciated the discussion.
Look, it's been a little bit choppy. We've had a chat about
It's been choppy.
things.
Like, I feel
weird because of our location, man. and because I've been sitting like I've got a disease.
I don't know. I feel like the way Jake and Mikey talk give me a lot of clarification on things. Like, they just talk so firmly.
Mate. Thanks, mate. I appreciate it. So basically, I'm just a shit Jake and Mikey.
I'm just pretty messy and scattered, so.
So, I guess we've got... Yeah, that's what I got to do.
What have we got? SuperCoach questions?
Yeah, I put a questions thread up for second rollers because I was a bit hesitant with how we'd go, like, kind of talking about second rollers because I didn't feel like there was heaps of options, but...
There's heaps of
options.
I mean, there's heaps, but are they good options?
Nah, I was just trying to find a cheapie or something to talk about, and the closest I could get was Ethan Bullymore. That's like...
And he's probably someone you want in the front row anyway,
Yeah,
right?
There's no... every year there seems to be, like, two blokes where everyone just has them. Like, I think Jordan Ricky last year was one of them. Like, everyone's got them, and you just sit in there and, eventually you sell them, but... I just don't know if there's anyone that's like that this year.
Yeah. So we do have some questions from Instagram. Billy G7. Any pods around the 500 to 600k mark? I like Schuster and Curran. With pods, I feel like I'd stay away from pods at that price, especially considering how low we're all planning on spending in that area.
I don't think they're pods. Schuster and Curran aren't that poddish.
I've seen a lot of people talk about Curran. I have heard people talk about Schuster. We haven't spoken about him. I like him at second row.
To be fair, I didn't really consider any of them, so I guess different to me.
Yeah.
So.
I think they're both very SuperCoach relevant. Like Schuster, with the way he plays, the way Curran plays, they're both really good SuperCoach options. I think you could potentially start with one or both of them for sure. I like Curran probably a little bit over Schuster, I think, just from what I saw on the back end of last year. I don't know whether that'll be replicated or not, but I think from eye test, I really like it. I just think Schuster is good, but I don't know. He annoys me with his no-look pass. I don't know. That just annoys me.
It's an awkward price for a pod, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. But
I think that's why you got to search for the pods. Like, Sitili Tupanuri is a pod. He's going to be a pod.
I don't know if he's going to be a pod.
Jack DeBellin?
I think he will be. Jack DeBellin will be a pod. Liam Martin will not be a pod. I feel like he's going to be highly owned, yeah.
At four. What is it?
28.
I don't think it'll be highly owned. Not
So,
highly.
okay, I've got Ryan Madison at 560. Oh, no, we already decided I'm going to do Haas. Yeah. I was going to say, I could have downgraded to Tupanua and upgraded like a Pierre Cora to Lukey. And that would like make it really strong.
More well rounded, that's
Yeah,
for sure.
yeah.
Next question.
There's not that many, to be honest.
We got 3, we got a few.
Yeah, there's 3.
I hope we answer. I don't know.
But they're not really Supercoach related. Like Mitchy Burnett, outside of Hines, which players' Supercoach output at the Sharks increases the most with the new players in the side?
What do you mean that's not Supercoach related?
It says Supercoach in it, yeah.
For second rowers.
Oh, well, he's asking the question.
All right, let's answer it. Which players' output at the Sharkies increases the most with the new players in the side? I think Finucane gets more minutes. And he's available at second row.
There you go.
There you go.
Finucane could be.
So
I don't know if he's ever really been Supercoach relevant at all, though. I've never had Finucane. Who's ever had Finucane in this?
I haven't had Finucane, but
I
I'm
think
just trying to think of the
I may have had
Sharks list.
Finucane.
I can't see him being relevant. Hey,
No. Trust me, he's going to be relevant.
You reckon?
He ended at 364 last year with his average was 47, so he's priced at that. I think he's 414,000. So he's kind of that price.
Nah,
That price we've been looking at.
that's awkward. It's awkward. It's
He
not.
averaged 47. The year before he averaged 57.
He's a wait. You'd have to wait and see. You wouldn't want to start. You'd have to just see how he goes.
I think just because the Sharks' rotation in the middles is going to be so risky to start with one of them. Besides McInnes, obviously. But Finucane, I definitely see him increasing his average minutes.
Well, they've bought him to do a job. You know what I mean? He's going to be a marquee.
I think he's going to be more of a outside game time role rather than on the field role, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I see what you mean.
Cora, Wade Gray. I couldn't even think of the Sharks second row for a
Cora,
bit.
Wade Graham.
Wade Graham's too injured. He's too injured.
Injured.
He's always injured. He's a great player, but he's injured too much.
I'm really trying to think like Mulatalo. Like, does he benefit from Hines?
Does Ramian benefit from Hines?
Hines loves sweeping down the left, didn't he?
Ramian's an interesting one, isn't he? Because he's always handy.
He's on the right,
What
though.
price does
So
he start? He's going to be about
Maybe a lot.
500-600
Yeah.
k.
nah,
is he?
he averaged 57 last year or something. No, 64.
Yeah, it's a bit hard to say.
I don't like Ramian this year. Coming off a 63 average, so he's priced at that.
yeah, he was kind of just. Yeah, he was never.
And
I
he's
agree.
at the start of the season, he didn't string more than 3 games in a row.
Really?
For the first
The
18
definitive
rounds.
answer. Give the man a definitive answer. Dale Finucane and
Dale Finucane is the top one for me, but I still probably wouldn't go near him. I really like Braden Trindle this year if he starts at halfback. Were you talking about him last week?
no.
No. Do you like Braden Trindle?
I don't mind him. I think he's a good pure football player. And
Yeah.
I think he'll be good. I like your Mulatalo chart. I think that's fair
he's
with
always
Hines.
someone with the draw.
Yeah.
He's going to
With
benefit.
draw and
Moylan and Hines at half and 5'8" just look like perfect staple beach boys, though, don't they? Like they've
They
got the
won't
beach
play.
look.
they
Yeah.
can't play Moylan with
No,
Hines.
they can't. But I thought that was the preseason chat.
I think it was for a little bit, but I think they go Hines and Trindle.
Yeah.
And
I think so. And I like Trindle. Trindle's going to goal kick over Hines, I guarantee you. 414,000 for Trindle. Hot tip for the next episode with the halves. Trindle's in my side.
I reckon Hines.
I'm not even kidding.
I reckon Hines would want to kick.
I don't.
so you think they give it to him because they want it?
Yeah.
Trindle's a better kicker though.
We'll see.
See Trindle in my side. 414. There you go. Not bullshitting.
Just having a look at the rest of them while we're here.
Oh yeah, you want to have a look?
Momirovski. Oh,
Yeah, you like. You like it?
no,
It was Garrick up until last week, but
at $1 gazillion.
yeah, it was. But I need to skimp out money because I really wanted
I
You
don't
had
like.
Garrick in your
that front
side
row.
as well.
I don't like Momorowski, but anyway, we'll get to
Bro, we
that.
need to talk, man. Otherwise, you're going to end up bloody 500,000 thing or something.
Or I could be first after. We're losing track here. There was one more question.
Mulatalo Finucane.
Mulatalo
Answer that question.
Finucane. NRL memes. I don't play SuperCoach, but I do play fantasy. Just a question in general. Who do you think locked down that back row spot at the Cowboys, Lukey or Nanai? Is this why you put down Lukey?
No, I had Lukey down. I had Lukey down before that question. That question only came while I was in the car coming to here. So, funnily enough, we probably already answered that. I think Lukey, I like Lukey a lot. I think he was one I was most excited, apart from DeBellin, to talk about coming here.
I really like the DeBellin chat. I like the Sitili Tupanua chat. I mean, I feel like both...
I'm off Devellin. I like Lukey.
Why are you off DeBellin?
I just don't like... I
If
don't
he
like
plays-
Dragons players,
If he
man.
plays
I don't want
80
any
minutes,
Dragons
if he plays 80 minutes, are you off him?
Any Dragons players I want in my side are going to be those young kids.
If I...
Like Sloan
Yeah.
and...
Sloan and
Sullivan.
Amon.
Yeah. So I couldn't have him, man. There's way better options at that price. Way better options.
So you've gone from not liking it to really liking it to hating it.
Oh, no, I never really liked it.
Four games at 80 minutes, averaging 70.
I was surprised and impressed by it, but...
You didn't like it.
I don't like it.
Yep.
And I guess the impressive thing was that you did say, look, if you're not noticing it and he's getting 80, what about when you
When
start
you're noticing
noticing?
Yeah, yeah.
So I do... Look,
That made you think, eh?
Yeah, look, it's one to watch, but I think I'd prefer... There's other options around
I think
that.
the Dragons suck again, but I think he's...
Yeah,
I think he's
of course.
good.
No, but you like players in teams that suck
Suck,
because
yeah.
they're going to play big minutes.
They have to.
I don't. I prefer the players in the teams that are good.
No, I don't like it.
Obviously, if you've got the choice of both and they're both playing 80, you take the team that's playing good.
Yeah, you want good ones.
Yeah.
You always hunt for like a weird player in a dodgy
I remember
side.
this is last year my only memory from all the podcasts, all the chat. I tuned into one specific episode, and he was trying to convince everyone that Matt Duffy at fullback was the way forward.
And you know what? He scored 160 that weekend. I'm not even kidding. I didn't get him in, but...
And then it wasn't the way to go.
No, it wasn't the way to go the rest of the season, but he scored 160 that
It
weekend.
made me nervous, though. It made me really nervous.
I didn't... Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah. Matt Duffy, eh?
That's for a few weeks, mate. We'll leave that.
Oh, I don't think we touch him.
All right, so
at all.
we're going to wrap this up.
Yep.
We're going to wait and see on DeBellin, but some people are keen on him. Ray likes him. I'm calling you Ray from now on.
That's good. Lots of people call me.
Everyone's calling you Ray?
I get Ray a lot.
That's good. You can't help.
You know
it.
what his
Perfect.
SuperCoach name is?
What?
Try and guess.
2GB?
Yeah.
How good am I? I didn't even know that Ray Hadley was on 2GB.
Yeah.
I don't listen to that sort of talkback radio, but I was
That's
like,
good. Did you plan that or something in the car?
No,
or?
I didn't.
that's weird.
I honestly thought he was going to just say Ray Hadley or
Yeah.
something.
That's weird.
That is so good.
I'm pretty impressed with that.
That's when you
That's
know your
good.
name is a good name.
I'm blessed with these sorts of things, you know. I get the big decisions right.
It was a vibe thing. You were riffing.
What are you going to be the Villy Army this year? You've kind of been like Jake, where you've changed every year.
I've always changed,
You
yeah.
have
But I
to.
think I've got to go back to back as the Villy
Yeah.
Army, you know.
And what happened? Let's say you win again this year. Viliami kick out leaves Penrith.
I think I'll do Villy Army this year, but then not after next year.
If you win again, though, you have.
Yeah, I'd have to go back to back to back. But I don't know, maybe I'll keep it forever. I'm not too sure.
All right.
I'm not too sure.
It's not really important, though, is it?
It is important. The name's one of the most important things, and your team colours. I will say that.
Yeah.
If you're going to go into SuperCoach and you haven't fixed yourself a logo and you haven't got colours and you don't care about that, you don't care about the image of your side, whether you pick, you know, the colour. There's three colours you can combine. There's all different logos. They're fun to pick. And if you're one of those double grey guys with just the standard logo, you will never win SuperCoach.
Oh, yeah, that's been my problem for the last 5 years.
Oh,
You've
There you
got to
go.
get the team. You've got to. It's
What-
all about culture. You've got to get right immersed.
watch
into
it. Just might be your time to actually have a decent year in SuperCoach.
There you go.
And
Everything-
then you'll change your colours and actually have a good year.
Everything's just coming together this year for me, isn't it?
You can change your colours. I remember in 2020, my thing was to change my colours and logo to whoever I was playing in head-to-head each week in my main comp, just to psych them out. You know what I mean? Like, oh, what's he doing? He's got my logo. But the logos. There's a lot. You've got to really bring the logos and the colours into your SuperCoach. It's a very important factor.
Maybe that's why Tim Williams in 2020 didn't win, because you had to convince him the week of round 25 to change his colours, and it was just too late.
Well, Henry started off grey for the year. He was ranked number 1 last year for ages. I said, mate, what are you doing? You've got no colours. You know what I mean? And he started going a bit bad. Remember you said, I was like, but you're going to have to get some, I gave him 2 options. One of them looked like a green with a hole in the middle where you'd putt, because he's how good his golf. Yeah. And my other one was the flags, the black and white flags.
No, he ended up doing the checkered flags, eh?
He went the flags. And it
didn't get him to the finish line, obviously, though.
If he started with with a bit of team spirit, though, other than just focusing on the individual players, you've got to worry about the team. That's all I'll say. Worry about the team.
All right. I think that's enough about team colours. What are you thinking of the game so far, Hadley?
3 for 100 off 14. Power surge has been taken. Tim David not batting yet. Hurricanes win.
Hurricanes win?
Comfortably.
They're a pretty good point of the game.
Yeah, I think the Renegades are giving up.
The Karate Kids bowling.
They're playing lots of youngins, I think, the Renegades. I know they usually do, but...
But Finch and Marsh are playing, so...
Yeah, but then the rest of them are all young, I reckon.
How does that guy get away with wearing that bandana sort of thing? What's going on there?
Stuart Broad does it.
Anyway. I like it on Stuart Broad too. No?
Is it a fashion thing, or is it just a bit of sweat?
Nah, it's because their hair's too long. And
his hair's not too long. What are you talking about?
What do you think of Darcy Short batting at... I think he's batting at 4 today.
4. Yeah, he was stinking it up early doors, wasn't he? I'm not too privy with the Big Bash Supercoach, but I reckon a lot of people would probably have started with him.
Yeah.
And then he was striking them at 100 and couldn't score a run. So, I don't know. I like it, but if you got Matt Wade and Ben McDermott smacking them, you want them facing as many balls as possible.
Yeah, that's fair. All right.
I just saw a replay of that catch again we were talking about earlier. Better than I thought.
Better than you thought?
Still 4th, but better than I thought.
That was an easy catch.
Not that one.
No, that was.
The one where the guy whacked it up in the air. Like, the guy whacked it so high up in the air for him. He gave him about a day to go find it.
Yeah, anyway.
Tim's
obviously never played a game of cricket in his life.
Oh, mate,
he did. I bowled to him. Did you see?
Mate, if you want to... Are you a bowler?
Yeah.
Maybe we should set up him bowling to me.
Oh, you should bowl to him. Good. Yeah, I'll show you.
I'm quite the batsman. The little guys are good batters, mate.
They are, but...
Well, mate, bowl to me, see what happens.
You know what I'm averaging this year?
See what happens.
115.
Yeah, mate, we can talk the talk. You
didn't bat on the weekend?
No, so I'm still averaging 115.
Hey, let's wrap this up.
Hold on.
This is good listening, by the way, I reckon.
Nah, it's not. Oh, fuck.
I hit my first ball and that was about it. But look, I'm not used to bowling.
He was wearing his tracksuit. He was too scared to wear his tracksuit today.
The problem it wasn't ironed well. The
suit wasn't ironed?
Yeah, it is crinkly.
We'll just steam it or something.
Yeah, I'm going to steam
it.
So, what are we talking about in cricket?
Have I hit him yet?
Nah. Do you hit him?
He gets me in the foot, breaks my toe. It's still probably just getting recovered, actually.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, no, that's what I was going to say. I don't normally, when I bat, I usually have really good bowlers bowling to me. So, I wasn't used to your timing. But if I have, someone that's a professional bowler bowling at me, I'll smack them around. But it was just because... No, I will, but it's only because you're, it's weird when you... because I'm so used to batting against professional bowlers that I'm not...
Sorry, I missed the start of that conversation. Who's the other professional bowlers you faced?
Brett Lee for a little bit. Because I've done I've done a bit of acting work. I was doing a bit of Bollywood and stuff. And we used to just
in that movie where there was a clip where Stuart Clark bowled it or something, and then the bloke hit it, and then Stuart Clark fielded it, and then the budget for the movie was $55 million, and they made $36,000.
Oh.
Holy fuck!
Yeah, no, I was in that.
There was actually a pretty popular movie where Dale Steyn...
Should we wrap this up and then just...
That was the Adam Sandler movie.
Yeah, that was pretty funny.
Anyway.
All right, well, thanks for listening to our
thanks for listening.
Really messy show.
If you hang around, thank you.
Savs will have some segments for you next week. He just came really unprepared today.
we come unprepared every week.
Thanks for having me, lads. I really appreciate it.
Nah.
Sorry if I
No,
contributed.
mate, you've probably contributed the most.
If I contributed to the messiness, I apologise.
No, you're the best thing. You've been
No,
the best thing on this show.
You kept the structure.
Yeah.
I rocked up late as well. It was just schmozzle, an absolute schmozzle.
Yeah, very good.
All right.
All right.
Until next time.
I got cramps.
Until next time.
I got cramps.
Thanks for coming on,
Pleasure.
both of you, and
Thank you.
thank you.
We'll see you in I don't know, maybe August, Mikey, when you're available.
Yeah.